Hey there, more Revolution friends. Jesse still here. Just want to let you know I'm thinking of you and I am praying for you today. So I'm ready for our next installment here of sort of these moral revolution videos encouraging you in a life of true love. The last time I talked to you about what is the nature of true love, um, and it is to serve. But I had another thought about that, and I felt like, man, I got to share that with the Moral Revolution fam because it's so significant and so important. Hopefully, you're getting the idea here that what I'm talking about, what we talk about when we talk about a moral revolution, we talk about love, is way beyond romance. If you're going to have a moral revolution in your life, you have to get way beyond the idea that love is simply about dating, sex, romance, marriage, all those things. Love is the call in every relationship in your life. Your family, your friends, your neighbors, your enemies. The call is always to love. And as you grow in the true nature of love, you will become healthy enough to actually experience God's design for your sexuality and your eventual marriage, assuming that's in His plans for you. Most of you, it is. But you had to get to the healthy place of true love, or all that stuff will always remain broken. So, this is at the heart of a moral revolution. Are you with me? Are you with me? Good. Cheers. Hope you got your coffee. So, here's the thought that I had. Love, uh, sometimes love looks like taking on the pain and the burden for someone else. If I could title what I'm talking about with you today is would be this phrase that I want you to remember: love does. Many times there are things in life that we don't want to do or aren't fun to do, and if we could really just choose, we'd be like, no, I don't. I don't want to. But I want you to take on the mentality that love does. The other day, I was taking my youngest daughter to her preschool daycare place. She goes, 2 days a week, and usually for a while she's done okay when I do drop off. Like, she's happy, we hug, kiss, bye, have a great day. Sometimes she'll want me to stay a minute and be with her, for a minute before I leave. And sometimes she's a little sad. But with her mother, she's always been real emotional. Like, it's a breakdown when mom has to drop her off there. Um, so I'm usually the one who takes her on these 2 days, because my schedule is a little more flexible, but also because I want to take that on for my wife. You know, um, so the other day I took her and she did not want me to go. I'd actually kind of bribed her to get in the car that day, but she did not want me to leave. And I had already stayed like 15 minutes right there at the daycare with her to drop her off. If you're a parent, you probably don't know how this feels, but it is hard at times to drop off your kids somewhere and to see them look so sad. I mean, it's heartbreaking. You feel like an awful person. I mean, even though I believe this is where she's supposed to be, and we prayed about this, and so if it's God, it's the best place for her to be. But the amount of emotion she's giving off makes you feel like an awful person. As I'm leaving, I'm thinking, man, I wish I didn't have to be the one to do this. I wish I didn't have to be the one to do this every time. And then I thought of how much more intense it would be if my wife did it. How much more intense it would be for my daughter and for my wife. And then I'm having that thought as I get in the car, and especially that my wife's schedule is not as flexible. She has to get where she has to get for her job as a doctor. She can't be late, but she has to be there by a certain time, so she can't even stay. I stayed 15 minutes, which was a little frustrating, to get my day off to a slower start, but not as it doesn't have the same consequence it would have happened for my wife. So as I'm getting in the car, I'm thinking, you know, actually, I'm happy to do this. I'm glad I can do this to save my wife from the feeling and pain of experiencing this stress, because as a mother, that feeling is way deeper. That feeling of like, oh, I'm an awful person, I'm not the perfect mom. I shouldn't be working. I should be at home, and saving her and getting in the way of that attack, that mental attack and that emotional attack is the nature of love for me. It's one way. And so I said, no, I want to do this. It's not fun, But I want to do this because this is what love does. This is what love does for my wife. It takes on the hard stuff for the ones they love. And come on, isn't that what Jesus did? I mean, I don't want to get, take a hard line here, but isn't that what he did? He took the punishment you and I deserved. It was put on him. He took it on willingly at the hand of the Father, and it was the will of the Father to put the punishment on Jesus instead of us. Now, how did that make the Father feel? Jesus did not deserve it, but they both made a choice out of love, because that's what love does. For you and for me and for the good of us. And so for the good of the other person, for their benefit, for their peace, love chooses to do the hard stuff. Love serves, love gives, and love does. That's my encouragement to you. Now, let me say this. There are some relationships where we'll be with people where we are protecting them in an unhealthy, codependent way, where we are enabling them in negative behaviors. Now, I am not saying that you should ever do that, because you're not actually benefiting them. You're not taking something away from them. You are actually removing from them what they need in their life right now. But in a healthy relationship where there's a burden, a task, an issue that we can help solve on someone's behalf, on the behalf of someone who we say we love, love does. Love does. So I want to challenge you. Is there someone in your life who you care about? Who it shouldn't. I mean, I hope it's actually not romantic, just because. But even if it is, you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a brother, a sister, a neighbor, a friend, a roommate. Find a way to lift their burden. What would you be happy to do because love does, that would make their life better, that would be of great benefit to them? It doesn't do anything for you, but it tells them loud and clear, hey, I love you. I'm going to do this because for no other reason. There's no benefit to me except I love you. And it doesn't even have to be something big. And this is great for friendships and family. It doesn't, like I said, doesn't need to be romance. Yeah. But what is it that love does in your life, that love can do, that you can enter into this reality of what the true nature of love, this Jesus-like love, where love does? I want to challenge you to think over that. Pick one person today, and then pick another one tomorrow, and find something else to tomorrow. I'll tell you, yes, there is pain for a moment in some things where you're like, ugh, if I had a choice, I wouldn't do this. But then remind yourself, no, I'm happy to do this because I love this person. Because of the benefit it gives them, I'm willing to endure a little bit of burden, a little bit of hardship. If I can ease their burden because I love them, trust me, it's so much more rewarding to choose this way of life. And just make it your mantra. Love does. Love does. Love does. All right, that's good. 7 minutes for you. I love you. Over and out. Talk to you soon.